everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get right into today's video. So in today's video, I'm going to be using products from TEMU to do my nails, specifically these Polygel nail forms, along with the little silicone French molds. So recently I did have a previous video where I showed these dual forms or nail forms, and I also used the silicone molds to do the French tips, and I had 2 boxes of them, and I used only 1 box in that video doing a little bit of a shorter square polygel nail. And then I also asked you guys about using the pinched nail forms. If I'm remembering correctly, I think some of you were calling them Russian dual forms. I can't really remember for sure, so I'm just going to call them pinched dual forms, and you guys will see what I'm talking about. But in that video, I did ask you guys if you wanted me to try out those nail tips because I thought it was a very unique shape. I've never tried that nail shape before, and I really wanted to try it out. I had so many comments asking for me to try it out, so that's what I'm going to be doing in today's video. Now, something that I do remember is when I was looking for these products to link them down below in that previous video, I wasn't able to find these specific dual forms or polygel nail forms. Sadly, I believe that they were discontinued, but I was able to find other similar, very similar products with some different dual forms and also the little silicone French molds. Now, I will be trying to find these again, but I think, again, they are discontinued, so I will be linking something very similar. Something I will say is I haven't tried the similar product yet, and it is a little bit disappointing to me because I have so many videos to get through, and then by the time I actually get to use these TEMU products, it seems like they're always discontinued. So it is very sad that that does happen, and I do apologize for that, but I'm not just going to let the product go to waste because I still, of course, want to use and try out the product. So I am going to be trying these in today's video, specifically doing some French tip nails using these silicone molds, and then also using the pinched dual form, which I'll show in a second here. I also do have some polygels. So I have this polygel here from TEMU, of course. This is a light pink polygel. This I will be using as my nail bed color. And then I also do have a shimmer purple polygel, which is a very beautiful glitter purple. And then I do have a Kolinsky polygel brush. This is also from TEMU. It is a bigger polygel brush. Last time I really liked using it, so I'm going to end up using it in today's video as well. If you guys have not yet watched the previous video where I first tried out these dual forms, be sure to check out that video. I had a lot of fun with that nail set, and I feel like the French tips did turn out really nicely, so I will have that video linked up in the cards. But let's go ahead and check out the dual forms that I'll be using in today's video. So with this box of polygel nail forms, we do have some silicone molds, and then we also have 4 different shapes of dual forms in a longer length, and there are a total of 288 pieces in this box. So here we have the 4 different shapes of dual forms. We have a square, stiletto, pinched, or that Russian style, and then we also have a coffin nail shape. Then down below here, we have some 4 different silicone French molds. You necessarily do not need to use these. You can just use the dual forms alone, but these are great for if you're a beginner, you're not good at doing French tips, but you want to be able to get that French tip nail look. These were super helpful, and I had a lot of fun trying those out in that last video. So for today, I am going to be using this nail shape, which is so unique. I haven't tried anything like this before. It has like a C curve to it, or almost like a U curve, but yes, like a C curve, and then it's like pinched, and on the sides, it's like the nail tip is a very small amount on the top, and then it mostly comes down on the sides, which I thought was so cool. I can't wait to see the finished set of how this is going to look because I haven't tried anything like this before. So here is what the nail tip or dual form is going to look like, that basic overall shape. And then I'm also going to be using the little silicone mold so I can do some French tip nails today. So off camera, I did go in and size out my dual forms just to fit my natural nails. And now I'm going to pick out the same sized little poly or French tip molds, and I'm just going to stick those out on a palette. I found out last time that for the French silicone molds, you just want to match them to the size of your nail tips. So say, for example, if this is a size 0, then you're going to want to look for the size 0 French mold. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly do that. The numbers are a little bit hard to see, so I'm going to do this off camera, but I am going to be using these ones here just because I really like that deep smile line. So I'm going to size these out, and I'm just going to set them out on my palette here. So now I have my doll form sized out. For sizing these out, I just sized them out like they were any other doll form, just keeping in mind that I'm going to be adding polygel in here, so I don't want it to be too small. I kind of go almost up just a little bit. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain because doll forms can be super tricky because the size that you're picking out, you do always want to keep in mind that you're going to be adding polygel inside the doll form. I always struggle with sizing out doll forms, and because these are new to me, I'm just hoping, my fingers are crossed, that these all are going to fit me nicely. But then I also sized out these little French silicone molds, and just in case you are wondering what they look like, I feel like it is going to be a little hard for them to pick up on camera. But here is what that French silicone mold looks like. It's just a little silicone piece, and you'll take that and stick it inside of the doll form like so. And then you will be able to have that nice smile line. You'll be able to put your first color of polygel. I'll explain the whole process once I actually get into it here. But what's nice about these doll forms is they almost have like a little guideline, like a little matted surface here, and that is exactly where I'm going to put the French silicone mold, just so I can kind of make all of the smile lines the same. Now this doll form also has some other areas or some other lines on it, so if you do want it to come down longer, you can of course also do that, but I'm going to keep it right here just because I think that will be easiest, or easy for me to do. But I do have all of these sized out, and for sizing them out, I just match these sizes to the sizes of the doll forms. Okay, so now I'm ready to start. I'm ready to start with these doll forms, and I'm first going to start with the French tip part, of course. So I'm going to start with the pinky nail, and I'm going to take my little French mold here and try to stick it in the nail as best as I can to try to match it up with the little, like I said, that matted part on the nail. And I'm just going to try to get it as even as possible. This is a little bit tricky to do, to get it in there perfectly. So I feel like honestly, this may be the hardest part, but I'm just going to try my best to get it in there. I was wondering why I was struggling so much and why it was looking so small. It's because I picked the wrong size. This doll form is a size 9 and I picked out a size 10. So let me go back through here and look for a size 9. Okay, I got it, a size 9. So this should be a little bit easier now. I was wondering why it was so small and why it was looking so weird in there. Oh yes, look at that. So much easier to fit in there. I think I'm going to try one more time to see if I can try to get it to be a little bit straighter. This part is very hard to do, I will say that. So now that I have it in there, I'm just going to pop the nail tip back on the nail stand. And I am going to, for the French tip, I'm going to be using the shimmer purple color. And I don't really know how far I want to go on the nail. I think I'm just going to do the entire doll form just so I can really get that shape and that C curve. So I'm just going to squeeze my polygel out into the doll form. Of course, the nail popped off of the stand, but it's okay. I'll just hold it. And then I'm going to take my polygel brush, just dip that into my slip solution and mold the polygel to the doll form. The only tricky part really is when it gets up close to that silicone mold. You just want to try to avoid getting any of the polygel on that form. And you just kind of want to work that polygel around it, almost creating like that French tip smile line. So I feel like it, oh no, oh my goodness, I never had that happen. I didn't have that happen the last time that I was doing this, but my little silicone mold just popped right out. Hopefully it stays. Maybe I should hold it in place. I'm going to try to hold it in place. This nail also, is probably going to be the hardest nail just because it is the pinky and it's so tiny and small to do. Oh no, now I'm really scared. The last time that didn't happen, the last time I felt like everything was going so smoothly. And then the first nail that I do here, the silicone mold pops out. Oh well, I'm just going to hope for the best here. After I do have the polygel all molded out, I am going to go ahead and cure this, just because this polygel is okay to be cured because it's not going to be the polygel actually adhering this nail to my natural nail. Oh no, this is really just moving all around. What am I gonna do here? I also have a bubble in here. This does not seem to be going as smoothly as last time. What a bummer. What could I do? I think someone said something about a base coat or something, but I don't really know how to do that. Like, do I just apply a base coat to the nail? I feel like this one is going to turn out so bad because I'm having so many issues with this French mold. Maybe it's getting sticky enough from the polygel that it will stick. Hopefully that's what happens. But I'm just going to continue molding this polygel. I'm so close to being able to just cure this nail. Okay, so I have it molded, so I'm going to go ahead and cure this. After it's cured, I'm going to pop this out, and I feel like that's really not the best, but it isn't bad either. So let's just hope this pinky was wanting to give me troubles, and I'm hoping for the best with the rest of the nails and that these don't pop out because I feel like that made it very tricky to do. But I'm going to just fit that in there, and I'm going to try to push it down with my brush just to hope that it's like really stuck and stays there. And then again, I'm just going to squeeze out my polygel into the doll form. I can't wait to see these nails on. It's just, I feel like this is going to be quite challenging to do. The doll forms are also a little bit hard to mold the polygel to, just because they are a very unique shape and very different to me. But I'm just going to continue molding the polygel to the doll form and trying my best to avoid getting it on the silicone mold. After I do have the polygel molded, I will go ahead and cure the nail and then just repeat the same exact process following with the other nails. I feel like honestly it is a little bit easier for me to just keep quiet and focus on working. It is quite hard for me to talk while doing this just because it is a little bit difficult and I haven't done this method too many times. So it's quite hard to talk while I'm working here. So I'm just going to go ahead and let the rest play out. If I do feel like I need to say something though, I will hop back on and say it. But if not, I will just come back once it's time to remove all of these silicone molds. So here are the nails after I'm all finished molding the glitter purple polygel for the French tip part. This was honestly very hard and messy to do. I did try the best I can, but honestly, I think my last nail set may have turned out better. I don't really know for sure yet because I haven't applied these and I haven't really seen the finished product. But this nail shape, it was quite hard to mold the polygel to, and then also I was having troubles with the like little silicone French molds constantly popping out. So this was a lot trickier than last time. But I'm now going to remove these little silicone molds, and they definitely can be reused. All you have to do is just wipe them with a little bit of rubbing alcohol and they will be back to new. But I'm just going to remove those out of the nails and kind of just hope for the best here. I'm not really going to take a peek at what the nails look like yet. I'm just going to leave them just like this for now. And now I'm going to go in with the light pink polygel color. I'm going to apply this to the nail bed area on all of the nails, and then I will apply them. So I'm going to start with just applying the polygel, molding it to the nail bed area. I will not do any curing, and then I will just apply them all at once. So just the same process. I'm going to take this polygel and squeeze it into the area of the doll form that has yet to have any polygel in it, and then I will just use my brush to mold that. Keep in mind, I am not going to be curing this polygel whatsoever. I am just going to be molding it to the doll form, and then I will just pop it back on the nail stand, and then I will go ahead and apply the nails all at once. This part is super easy to do. All you're really filling in is that little gap there of the doll form that hasn't had any polygel yet. Super simple and easy to do. This probably is the easiest step of doing this entire nail set. I'm now ready to apply the doll forms. I do have my peel off base coat applied. Now, of course, if you want your nails to last, you will want to go in with some nail prep. But to apply these, that pink nude nail bed color is not cured yet. So that is what I'm going to be using to attach these nails to my natural nails. I'm just going to take the doll form, press it down on my natural nail, making sure it's in place. And then before doing my flash cure, I will clean up the underside and also around the cuticle area just to be sure that there isn't any polygel on my skin. Once I do have that doll form in place and all of the polygel cleaned up, I will do a flash cure. Just because these nails are long, I don't want to bump them, so I just want to make sure I do a flash cure to the nail. And then after I have all of the nails applied, I will do my full cure. For polygel, I like to do a full 60-second cure with my hand facing straight up in the nail lamp, and then like usual, and then I do another 60-second cure with my palm up in the nail lamp, just to be sure that the polygel is fully cured. So here are the nails after I have them all applied and all cured. Honestly, they don't look too bad. I feel like this index finger is really the only one that kind of doesn't have a perfect smile line, almost the pinky too, I guess. But I'm really excited to see this nail shape. Another thing that I want to mention for the thumbnail, I was kind of having a difficult time getting it on my thumb. It kind of almost looks like slanted up, but maybe that's how they're supposed to look. I mean, because the other nails also kind of look like that, but either way, they're all cured. Now I just have to pop off these dual forms. So I'm going to just kind of wiggle the dual form and try to get it off the nail. I do have a peel off base coat on, so I'm hoping that all of the nails don't pop off because that's going to be very bad. Oh no, these dual forms are really hard to get off of here. No, it popped off. Oh no, the first nail already popped off, so I'm gonna have to glue this one back on. So I had to glue that nail back on. You can kind of see the dual form starting to come up, but because I just glued it, I'm going to try to remove the rest of them. And I kind of have a feeling that all of these are just gonna end up popping off. That's gonna be so sad. I don't know how to get these dual forms off. Maybe I should try to use a tool to try to get up underneath of them. Oh, I'm hoping that's the dual form. It is, okay. Oh, one's off. This does have a little gap here. I talked about that happening in my last video. I tried to fix it this time around, but some of them still have that little gap. I feel like this is just kind of like a learning curve using the silicone molds with the dual forms. Oh, our second one off. Not bad. These are actually looking pretty good. Okay, look at that. Those are so nice. This nail shape is super cool too. It's almost like a stiletto or like an almond shape, but then you turn it to the side and it's like bam. That's so cool. Ooh, look at that. All of the dual forms off, and I only had one nail pop off, which is very good, but now we have to do some filing. These nails are going to look a lot better after I file them, but I'm going to first just take some rubbing alcohol to clean off the sticky layer from the nails. For my filing, I'm going to start with a hand file to help crisp up the nail shape. I'm also going to take my 5-in-1 drill bit to go around the cuticle area of the nails. Then I'm going to take my buffer to go over the tops of the nails. After I'm all finished filing and buffing, I'm going to take my dust brush with some rubbing alcohol to remove all of the nail dust. After filing and buffing, the nails look a lot better. I also really love the side view of the nails. I think that looks so cool. And honestly, I think these look really good. I'm actually really happy with them. I am going to go in with a layer of this 5-in-1 builder gel, which is also from TEMU, and I'm going to apply a layer of this to all of the nails, and then I will cure. After the builder gel is all cured, I'm now going to go in with a layer of no wipe top coat to all of the nails, and then I will cure that. After I had the top coat cured, I'm loving how these nails turned out, especially that side view. I just think that is so cool looking. Like the top looks like this and then the side looks like that. That is so cool. So they aren't plain. I want to add just 2 purple rhinestones coming down from the cuticle area on all of the nails. So I'm just going to use some rhinestone gel to place those, and then I will cure this. After I have applied the rhinestones and I cured those in place, I am finished with the nail set. So I'm going to take my cuticle oil, apply that to my cuticles, rub that in to nourish them. And of course, like I always say, top off the nail set. And here is the finished look of the nails. I absolutely love how these turned out. And I also had a lot of fun, even though I did struggle with the dual forms and the French silicone mold. I think these still turned out absolutely amazing. Yes, there are a few imperfections on the French tip part of the nail, but nothing too crazy. Overall, this looks really, really good. And I'm super happy with the result of how these turned out. I also really love the 2 polygel colors. The consistency of working with the polygels, they were a really good consistency. And just look at this overall nail shape. Like, how cool is that? I love how like pinched they are and how the nail shape looks. I did have a little bit of trouble like molding the polygel to this specific nail shape, and also when it came to filing the shape, it was a little bit tricky for me, but it is because I've never used this nail shape before. I would definitely recommend the nail products from TEMU. I have a bunch of TEMU haul videos up on my channel. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I will be trying my best to link the products that I used from TEMU. I do know that the dual forms, the last time I checked, that was a discontinued product, but they do have similar like nail forms, dual forms with the silicone French molds available. So I will be trying to link something very similar to this kit, but I had so much fun with this. I'm so happy that you guys wanted me to try out this nail shape. I definitely want to look for some full cover nail tips in this nail shape because I actually really like it a lot. I like how it looks from the top, and then like it like has a whole different side view. Like that is so cool to me. And I absolutely love how these turned out. Like I said, I will be leaving the links down below in the description box in case you guys do want to pick anything up for yourselves. But here is just the finishing look of how these nails turned out. Like I said, I love them so much. I can't believe that I use dual forms with silicone French molds. Like nobody would ever guess that whatsoever. So if you are somebody who loves the French tip nail look, but you can't get it perfect, I would definitely recommend trying these out. Also, this nail shape, if you like fun, unique nail shapes, I would definitely try this one. It's super cool. It gives off like a really cool pinched nail look. And like I mentioned earlier, I would really like to look for some full cover nail tips in this shape just because I'd love to try those out. I really hope that you guys did enjoy today's video, but as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.